As we prepare for the public launch of Hogwarts Legacy tomorrow, it is important to take a step back and reflect on exactly how controversial this game has been so far. Now, I use the term controversial very loosely here because technically speaking the game does not fit that description at all. The controversy for this game actually does not stem from anything the developers have done or even anything happening within the title itself, but rather the links it has to the original creator of the IP, J.K. Rowling, even though she had nothing to do with the development here. Due to her views on the transgender community, many have been calling for the boycott of this game, as the consensus is that royalties from this title will go directly back to Rowling, who will use it to further her agenda against the trans community. Now, for this video specifically, I am not going to comment too much on that point or even what my direct opinion on the matter is, as I have extensively covered it yesterday. If you are interested, you can go back and listen to my options about the boycott there. What I do want to talk about is the backlash many people have been facing for wanting to play the game, as well as all of the extensive backlash for not liking and subscribing to this channel. Regarding Hogwarts Legacy specifically though, this is not just a simple boycott but rather a massive harassment campaign against anyone who even dares to say that they might be interested in playing the game. Websites have been created to monitor Twitch streamers who play Hogwarts Legacy in an attempt to bully them and even make them lose sponsors. Online hate campaigns have started going after anyone having anything positive to say, and even positive reviews online have been bombarded with negative comments. That is a big reason why so many outlets reviewing the game have released disclaimers about how they are not in support of Rowling's past comments. The harassment of content creators is what I want to focus on today, and I will try my best to be as fair to both sides as I possibly can be. When it comes to the transgender community in particular, I will just briefly repeat what I said yesterday. They have the right to boycott whatever they want to, and they have the right to speak out against anything they feel like. We all have something that we do not want to support because we do not like the message. For some, it is HBO Max because they do not like the message Velma is pushing. For others, it is Disney Plus because they do not like the message She-Hulk is pushing. Some might want nothing to do with Disney because of the Florida bill, and others might vow to never buy another M&M again because of their messaging. The point is that we all have something that we look at and say, you are threatening my existence or my skin color or my political beliefs or my religious freedoms, and therefore, I will not support your product. For me personally, it is Brie Larson. I will not support any movie that she is in because I do not like some of the past comments that she has made. Just like we have the right to speak out against the things that we do not like, trans people also have the right to speak out against something that they feel threatens their existence. Now, whether you agree with that or not is a totally different story. One person who has heavily pushed back against the narrative that you are phobic if you play this game is popular left-wing content creator and political streamer Hasan Piker. Although a very strong ally for the LGBTQ+ community, he has landed himself in some extremely hot water over the last few days due to his comments on this issue. Now, just a full disclaimer, I do watch Hasan every night, and I would say that we are very closely aligned politically, so maybe I am not the most objective person as a fan of his content. But despite that, I think most people will probably agree that the insane amount of hate content creators like him has been getting is insane. Piker has been very vocal about this whole situation, insisting that people should be allowed to play Hogwarts without being labeled with certain tags, and even hinted at the fact that he himself might end up playing the game while raising money for the trans community. He did eventually back away from that idea, stating that he did not want to go through all of the bullying from watchers and thus just decided to avoid the game for now. This sparked its own set of outrage from people who said that it was pathetic that he was giving in to the woke mob. During his most recent stream, he stated that the whole boycott was meaningless and stated the trans community should make a better ask. He stated that boycotting the game would never work since the product itself was not transphobic, and that a push for change should happen at a legislative level. After receiving massive amounts of backlash for suggesting that he would play the game, he took to Twitter and said, "Every day there's new trans legislation being written to basically eliminate trans people from existence in the US. Y'all are talking about a video game that I'm not even playing. Recognize that this is about engagement on Twitter, a feeling of helplessness, and nothing else. Go ahead and quadruple down, it's not changing anything. I'm not gonna stop advocating for trans issues, but maybe you can get your first 1K retweets and that'll help you feel better because life is going to keep sucking." Overall, it has been really crazy to see all of this play out and the backlash for daring to play the game. The boycott itself has had a very opposite effect on the game, as more people now than ever are flocking to it and buying a copy. The game has been a massive success so far, and it hasn't even fully launched yet. Hogwarts Legacy is most likely going to be one of the top-selling games of 2023 as more and more people decide to pick it up. Overall, I do agree that this type of boycott never works. In general, boycotts never work, and although we all issues and causes that stop us from making a purchase, going to this extent to try and stop people from playing a game was never going to work. I do agree that people are going through all of this out of a sense of desperation. People feel hopeless thinking they cannot make any meaningful change, so they flock to Twitter in order to bully some unexpected creator who has nothing to do with it in order to feel like they are actually making a change. This is something that we see all the time and it never ends well. If you want to boycott something, then go ahead and do so. I have seen so many content creators talk about how stupid it is to boycott something, and then when you go through their channel they have hundreds of videos going after everyone from Disney to HBO stating that people should unsubscribe. I myself have spoken out against many of those same productions, so it will now be hypocritical to say that trans people are not allowed to do the same. If you want to go ahead and play the game, you should be free to do so, and if you feel like you do not want to support the title, then that is also your right. The only thing that you should remember is that no one really cares what you think, so let everyone be.